Yo, what is going on, guys? Me, and today we're going to be looking at the 2020 NHL Offseason edition this week in Sportsball. So, this week in Sportsball has a series on UrinatingTree's channel, and the NHL, like we do all the major league sports in here, like MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL. One thing that I will point out though is that my hockey IQ is not really the best. I know like the big names, but I'm not really there yet. But I'm still trying. Let's get it. What do you guys think of this season? I like the hockey season. I like the hockey season.
You might be stumped as to what to get someone as a gift this
Raycon.
But why not something you can all accept?
They're like $80. Unless they're like $50.
Now on to the show. The bubble has been deflated, at least for the time being. The NHL
I'm not making fun of Raycon. There's nothing against you, but
time around. And as always, we have to start with the Cup champions and the Lightning. I already missed the memes. They were short-lived, but absolutely glorious. Now, though, they're just another team that lived up to their potential. Good thing they did too. They brought back Shen and Maroon, but they've got
it was good that they brought that young core out.
But they are slammed up against
remember when they lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets in that series?
Not at that salary.
Tyler
at least got a bridge, but there's been no progress on the
See, names like this, Sergachev. I have no idea how to say that name.
Good luck, boys. This is the price of having great talents.
Yep.
You have to pay them. For the losers of the Cup Finals, the Stars not only get a dilemma of what will be the piece that takes them over the top, but you also see how much shit they had to deal with as a team during the postseason. That is a tough list. And then there's Tyler.
Was that all injuries?
In all seriousness, that's brutal, and I wish for a full recovery.
Dang,
in the meantime, Dallas here are resigning
insane.
and Hintz. You even brought back Anton Hudobin, who's been one of the best goalies of the postseason, to a decent contract.
Cool. Oh yeah, I've heard of that guy, Anton.
That's a pipe dream, isn't it? Vegas
I don't even say his name right.
A team that has gone all in over
I'll
the
go
past
back and
year
edit this
suffered
video
a
and then I
humbling
won't say
defeat
his name
after
right.
weeks of talking smack. The question for them is now what? Re-signing Robin Lehner is paramount, especially for how he performed.
Isn't Robin Lehner really good?
They know they're close, but they need one more big piece to get over.
Told you my hockey IQ is not that good. I still watch it,
His name is Alex Pietrangelo, a true captain, a defensive keystone, a player's player. He's absolutely perfect for them. The salary cap is of no concern. They can deal with it as they sign him to one of the richest contracts in this free agency window. It would be foolproof, but there's the whole cap helping. They flung themselves right back into it. Trading Nate Schmidt to Vancouver
for the NHL, that's pretty I don't know.
But they're still about $1 million over the cap. They'll need to make one more move. And it won't be Fleury, he's staying put. Just as long as they don't completely piss off their core again. God forbid a team try to get better, right?
So
the
they're
Blues
not.
Have been scored,
so they're
Pietrangelo is left for the enemy.
So they're the
signing Falcon Scandella to bloated contracts, but that's not an exciting narrative. It's a lot easier to write for a jealous ex trying to score on the rebound. Let's see, they need a defensive leader, strong power play presence, decent in his own zone. I got it, Torrey Krug. He's even a year younger, and he fits under the cap.
Well, there you go.
Kyle Clifford is a compensatory bonus. Take that, Vegas. The Bruins have been scored. Torrey Krug is left for their mortal enemy of 2 years in St. Louis.
Boston.
Zdeno Chara would
wasn't he the guy who left for the for his kid or something?
Signing Matt Grzelcyk and Jake DeBrusk helps a bit, but Chara, don't go somewhere else.
Never heard of them.
Neither Beantown nor your body will be able to take it. Taylor Hall was the other main piece to move in free agency.
I've heard of Taylor Hall. He's on the he's on Arizona.
And he also wants a long-term home to win more than draft lotteries. It's with this thinking and logic he puts his foot down and states, "You know what? I'm going to Buffalo." Okay. So much for trying to find a winner, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense for him. The Sabres have been trying to fix a deadly losing culture by acquiring Eric Stahl from Minnesota.
Damn.
Along with this thinking, Taylor Hall also got a one-year contract worth $8 million.
Is he good?
And to be fair, Colorado was offering significantly less money for this time frame. If Buffalo somehow wins, he can flip it to a longer payday and a potential cup run. If they suck again, he just gets traded to a contender at the deadline, and the Sabres get prospects to hopefully not ruin. Both parties win. It's cynical, but it gets results. So Arizona, you failed to bring back Taylor Hall. The logic in trading for him made sense,
Oh,
but your team
Arizona.
isn't just
I heard
bad.
of Arizona's like
It's
off
an outright
season.
embarrassment to the league.
I've heard of
They
it.
failed to pay per diems and bonuses on time in the postseason. They've already lost draft picks due to illegal prospect workouts.
Oh my gosh.
John Chayka's reputation as boy genius has been revealed to be fraudulent. Trying to get out of an increasingly awful Oliver Ekman-Larson contract failed due to demanding too much for him. God forbid somebody doesn't pay a rich sum for the idea
serious?
of a great defender nowadays. The nerve of GMs. And the worst part is with those bad extensions based on the idea of good players, they're already millions of dollars over the cap. They're still rebuilding.
Jesus,
People
man.
fucked up. And it's a lot more than a handful. You see, Arizona is at the forefront of the progressive movement in the NHL, epitomizing diversity, equality, and acceptance in their team's ranks. Hispanic CEO and ownership preaching those virtues the whole damn show. So what did they end up doing with their first selection in the 2020 draft? They picked a total piece of shit who tormented a black disabled kid for years. Shit got so bad he was summoned to juvenile court. It's not the fact that they selected him that's the problem, even though the fucker shows no remorse for his actions. It's that they fronted as a progressive organization and still selected him. Total hypocrisy. Then the Coyotes backtrack saying they didn't know about it. Fucking bullshit, and rescind his...
Yes. I don't even have the scissors.
rights, thus pissing away 4 draft picks in this class. I'm dead serious when I say this. The venture to Arizona has been a disaster. They need to move away, and they need to do so 5 years ago. Go to Houston and be a bad franchise over there. There are a lot of Leafs fans that were calling for Kyle Dubas to be fired after these playoffs, but I feel it's too early to make that move. Dubas helped to dig this hole, yes, but he should get the chance to get himself out of it. With some of the moves they've been making, they might have a shot. The first step is in
I'm trying to like think of like names that he says.
Wayne Simmons, despite being
Wayne Simmons, I've heard of that. I've heard of that name.
Bringing back Jason Spezza helps, but the final piece, Jumbo Joe Thornton. Duke can barely move on the ice these days, but those offensive instincts. And he even shaved his beard. They had to trade Kapanen and Andreas Janssen to get under the cap, but defensive help was critical.
I've actually heard of
TJ
Joe
Brody
Thornton
is
too.
honestly a
He's
damn
like
good
42,
signing if he can
right?
maintain form. But where are you getting this cap from? They're still over and need to make another move. It shouldn't be too hard to do so, at least. What did you do this time, Jim? What mess am I going to irrationally be pissed off about for reasons of impotence? Keeping the first-round pick they traded to Minnesota for this year? Good. Now don't trade it. Grossly overpaying for Kasperi Kapanen. Did you really have to add one of your better prospects when they had little leverage? Now comes the part where he tries to fix yet another mistake with a bigger one. Jack Johnson was predictably terrible and had to be bought out. So who's the next whipping boy in the team? Ah, Mike Matheson. He of god-awful contract and extreme propensity of giving the puck away in his own zone. It only cost them an injury-prone leader in Patrick Hornqvist, and now the team is pissed off at the move. Wonderful. Fortunately, they can't do much in free agency due to the cap. Mark Jankowski sucks, but he's just a placeholder.
I've heard of Mark Jankowski.
Prove me wrong. Cody Ceci, are you fucking shitting me? Are you seriously just bringing in meme players at this point in time?
Never heard of him.
I know it's only for a year, but god damn it, JR. Isn't there a bingo night to attend or something? Seriously, what the hell are you doing? The Islanders themselves may also have an old man as their GM, but he at least still seems to have a pulse on the league. Or I'd like to think that anyway. The problem in Long Island is in the RFA section. They have 3 big ones. Barzal, Pollock, and Devon Taves. They can't afford all 3 at the prices they will demand. The first casualty
really
is
hard
in
to, like,
Taves, traded to Colorado
remember,
for draft picks.
like,
He got
all
a
of
nice
these,
extension
like,
and
all
fits
of
in their
these
blue
names.
line. Don't feel bad for him. Pollock was able to be extended on a bridge deal for $5
Ryan Pollock, I think I
million per
remember
year,
that
but
name.
Barzal still looms large. With limited cap space, that's not going to fly. He's the key piece to their offense. To be fair, they may have found a way to make the money work, but it comes at a cost.
Okay.
Johnny Boychuk's eye injury is a career ender. Damn shame, he was a good player.
Damn.
Now he is exiled to Robita Island for the remainder of his term. Ready the boats. Calgary, unsurprisingly, has not taken my advice and overhauled a team who's only winning as in biggest underachievers nearly every year. Brad Treliving knows that this year is his last chance before he gets a well-deserved axe. TJ Brody is gone, but in his place comes an aging Chris Tanev for the second pairing. Kind of an overpay, but something about culture and former Canucks makes them hard. Speaking of Vancouver, they have a hot goalie coming on the market. Jacob Markstrom. arguably one of the bigger ones available this season. Consistency in net has been a huge issue for the Flames, and this will hopefully shore that up. They could have all the talent in the world, but if goalie isn't addressed, it's all for naught. And they paid dearly for it. A 6x6.
Damn.
Calgary, your desperation is showing. The Oilers at this point are just hoping for sustained success, and to not be humiliated in the first round by a 12th seed. Most of the moves they made were supplementary in nature.
I remember
Hopefully
this
they can
series.
be
I watched
something
it.
unlike the vanishing Athanasiou, who is already gone. Nice of him to waste the picks you traded for him. Kyle Turris is brought in on a buy low deal. He was a terrible fit in Nashville, but a change of scenery might help him back to form. Same goes for Tyson Barrie. The less said about his time in Toronto, the better. Chris Russell is back, and it's not on a bad contract. It's actually kind of a bargain. Can't believe I'm saying that. Hell, even Jesse Puljujarvi's back in the fold after nearly being ruined by the previous regime.
I cannot say that name.
Everything has been satisfactory for them, except for one thing. You really thought bringing back Mike Smith was the answer as a backup? You've been down this road before. He'll randomly catch fire for a few weeks, then suddenly look like he shouldn't even be in the league. So here's
probably my favorite part, like hockey fights. That's probably my favorite part of this, of the NHL.
Vancouver is yet again
well, you know, obviously like the
this team if they didn't have a GM that locked up the bottom six to horrible contracts. Then again, you might not get the drafting you've had, so mixed bag. Chris Tanev isn't that big of a loss since they managed to get Nate Schmidt. Jacob Markstrom was replaced by Braden Holtby despite having a really bad year. Isn't a bad option as a backup.
Okay.
Especially as I was expecting him to get a much richer contract. Damn, I wanted to laugh at it. However, the bloated anchor deals cost them in the form of Tyler Toffoli. They didn't have the cap space to bring him back.
Damn.
It's not a total loss, but he could have been
really that bad?
back in the fold.
I don't even know.
Oh, Jim Benning. Will you ever not be a death by 1,000 drafted prospects?
What?
The same goes for Marc Bergevin. Despite nearly every move having me question his sanity, a majority of them have somehow worked out in his favor. Except for the Carl Alsner thing, we don't talk about his regression. This time around, we get some more bold moves. Tyler Toffoli, though, he's a great signing at that cap hit. Bringing in Jake Allen? Of course not, he's valuable as a safety.
I think I've heard of Jake Allen, actually. I think I've heard of him.
Gallagher, despite his large deal, has intangibles that can offset any potential overpayments. No, the Derry is trading Max Domi to Columbus for Josh Anderson.
But I like how, like, they, like,
version of Anderson
in hockey fights, how, like, they literally, like, start by, like, hey, square up, man. Like, they're, like, literally, like, starting like that. That's insane.
It's a great move. Pure power forward who puts up goals.
That's, like, the best parts. That's, like, the best parts of, like, hockey.
Fighting injuries and his own slumps to only put up 1 goal in 26 games. This is a massive risk that could backfire if he doesn't return to form from his injury.
26 games and 1
goal?
goal?
That Domi doesn't return to his great numbers, but
I mean, I'm not stupid. I know hockey, but dang, that's pretty bad.
More ballsy is if they lock
because how many games are in, like, an NHL season? Like, I gotta look that up right now. Here, we'll do it together. How many games are in an NHL season? There are 82. Okay. Also, did my you guys will see this too. Don't worry. Yep, it's uploaded. All right. Well, you guys can go see my Sephiroth reaction right now. But yeah, you guys can go see that.
Contract from
all right. Back to the reaction.
You what? Speaking of Columbus,
wait, what was that?
You what?
Canadian signed Josh Anderson. Who is that? Dang, I gotta do a lot of research. So I'm sorry, guys. He was drafted in the 4th round. Columbus Blue Jackets. Is he injured? How good is he? Scoring 27 goals. He was a dominant force. He injured his left shoulder in the series, which left him then. I don't know. Is that good? Yes or no, guys? Let me know. $38 million?
They know what they
I mean, that's like.
And that's a top flight scoring touch.
Is that because like the NHL is like really like more
Ryan Murray off to New Jersey and Marcus Nudavara to
less
Florida
popular
to
coming?
cap. The
I don't
goal
know.
is either Taylor Hall or Alex Pietrangelo. So what does the wheel end on? Bankrupt. At least Gavrikov got signed to a contract, but it's still not too late. Maybe they're just waiting to see if the price of other trade assets depress from the current
But in
rates.
NHL terms, that would be good money, right?
I think they'll figure
right?
something out.
Or am I wrong?
The great thing about these depressed salaries and lean market are for teams like the Senators. Spending years lounging on the cap floor, they can throw money around for players that they normally wouldn't go near. Evgeny Dadonov, for that cap hit, that's a steal. They can afford the raises of Connor Brown and Chris Tierney. They can even go and grab Eric Goodbranson to levitate up from the cap floor, but they need a goalie for the future. We know.
Oh, why are you guys hugging? What the heck?
Murray, accomplished, elite, and young. Unnecessary expenditure
Yo,
to
John
replace Greg
Gruden.
Anderson. Just hope he isn't as awful as he was last season. And at that cap hit, they were paying a back tax on the rings. This is a shopping spree in Melnick terms. Surprising even to me. Fortunately, Florida hasn't made any drastic mistakes, as I was fearing they would. The Panthers merely chose to try and reshuffle the depth around for a better shot next season. We know about Patrick Hornqvist
I think
and
I've seen
Marcus
the Panthers
Nunavara,
like
but
couple
they also
games,
brought
like,
in Radko Gudas to throw some
they weren't
lumber
really
around
that
near
good.
the blue line. A Philo candidate
No offense,
and
Florida
Alex
fans, but,
Wenberg,
like,
Carter
you guys weren't
Verhaeghe,
really that
and
good.
They managed to agree to an extension with Mackenzie Weegar. I was wondering
See,
if
look
they
at
were
that.
gonna
Like, they're
trade him.
literally punching, like, the
Negotiations were getting
helmet.
ugly there for a second. The good thing about Detroit is that they can't go much lower than they already are. So this is the point where they both sign potential long-term pieces and stopgaps to shield the prospects from being rushed to the NHL.
What the
The
heck?
core can be re-signed. Tyler Bertuzzi on a bridge deal and Anthony Mantha on a long-term agreement. Robbie Fabry too. Free agency? A boom. Vladislav Nemesnikov, Troy Stetcher, Bobby Ryan, John...
Alright, let's see. Vladislav Namestnikov, Troy Stecher, Thomas Grease, Kyle Crisculo, John Merrill, and Bobby Ryan. Are any of those guys good, guys? They signed this Thomas Grease guy to like a $3.6 million contract. Pretty sure that's good, right? And this Vladislav Mexico guy to like a $2.
John Merrill and Thomas Grice in net. They got a second-round pick to deal with 1 year of Mark Stahl on the third pairing too, so not bad for
Well,
what
there you
it's
go.
worth. Once
Second
again,
round
they
pick,
can't
okay.
go much lower. Good luck, Stevie.
Depends on
Just
like how many
Detroit
rounds
a few
there are.
years ago, Chicago is officially
Chicago,
admitted
here we
to
go.
what they should have done long beforehand. They're rebuilding.
Oh yeah.
Corey Crawford, the longtime
yeah.
stalwart in net, is gone. He is headed to New Jersey to hopefully maintain his new lease on life. To replace him, they are doing nothing. It will be a backstop duo of Malcolm Subban and Colin Delia.
I think I remember those two guys.
It's going to be that kind of season. Brandon Saad, an old chum of the team, gone again for defensive help. The veteran core isn't too keen on this, as you could expect.
I remember this. I remember
Fans aren't
him.
either, considering their alleged
Yeah.
cartoon villain of a GM will be around to oversee it. Prolonged ride is over, boys. Here comes the pain of another rebuild. Enjoy the cups while you drown. The Predators, on
Damn.
the other hand, are not willing to give up on their...
I remember like watching like those games. Like I like watched those like 2015 like finals against like the Philadelphia Flyers, that one series, and then that what was the other series again? I don't remember, but dang, that was like, now they have to start a rebuild and like, oh my gosh, what did they sign Corey Crawford again to? Like 2.4 million. Brandon Saad is traded, or Saad. Brandon Saad, it's Saad. We still have Patrick Kane. You know, young core. We're like one of the youngest teams in the NHL right now. Yeah.
West. Humiliation to the Coyotes in the playoffs notwithstanding, they have focused more on team depth instead of a big fish. Nick Bonino off to Minnesota for a struggling young player in Luke Cunnin. Kyle Turris
Gone
just
for a
cut.
third-round pick.
That's it.
And
he's
that
just
Luke
gone.
Cunnin guy.
In their stead, Matt Benning, Mark Borowiecki, Nick Cousins, and Brad Richardson. They loved Brad's series clinching
Mark
goals so much
Borowski,
they had to have him for their
$2 million.
bottom six. Kind of ironic how this all works out. Minnesota is not either. They still want to ride that hamster wheel, goddammit. Someday it'll break off from its standing position and they will be able to roll off to freedom. Nick Bonino and Marcus Johansson to revamp the center depth. Nick Bjugstad as a Bilo candidate due to injuries, and Carson Soucy got re-signed.
Okay.
Good shit. But what about goaltending? Dubnik isn't the answer, but apparently Cam Talbot is? Okay.
Is that
I
bad?
mean, I guess it could work in the right
$3.67 million
system. The Wild really
for that
hit,
guy?
though. They're no
Cam
Colorado,
Stelic?
let's just say that.
Whatever his name
They
was.
took a deep roster and made it even deeper. Brandon Saad is top six depth, only having to trade Nikita Sadorov and a depth defenseman for
Nikita
him. Then replacing
Sadorov. That's
with
who
an
we
underrated
got.
commodity in Devon Taves. and in a nice cap.
Oh, we
The
traded
only
him to
issue is Gil
Columbus.
McCarr needing paid after next season, but I guess you don't have to rush that at least. Now stay healthy this season. The Jets have been awfully quiet as of late. I'm afraid to ignore them since I feel like a big move will sneak up on me. It can't just be bringing back Paul Stastny and Dylan DeMello. Can it? The Rangers have come to the Great Mountain
Wait,
for
is
an
that
offering of
good?
fate. A soul for a soul. That is the price of salvation. To pay for the blessings of Lafreniere, there must be a great cost in return. That price is King Henrik. Due to his age and him being relegated to excess goods, he was bought out of his contract. Lundqvist will be donning another uniform next season.
Damn.
A shame he never got the ring gear, but he was an outstanding backstop. Just the unfortunate picture of tragedy on the ice. Every time. And most of it wasn't even his own damn fault. Farewell, King Henrik. May angels guide you to your next
I
destination.
think I saw him. I think I've seen him once.
Rangers open up their
Not in
hands
real
and
life, you
find
know,
the great
just like, you
soldier.
know.
Jack Johnson. King Henrik signed with Washington? This just feels so unclean. It's just like watching Ovechkin sign with the Penguins or something. Oh, I need to wash off. San Jose may be on a dangerous spiral downward with
I've seen how
increasingly
good he
contracts
was.
and a lack
Like
of
he was
impact
actually
talent
kind of
on the
like,
way, but
it
never
was actually
fear.
really amazing.
Doug Wilson is here to save the day. The goaltending situation was awful. There is no denying that. But do you know what would be better than a frustratingly inconsistent goalie who had a terrible year?
Yeah,
Two of them.
how did
Devin
you
Dubnyk from Minnesota
how did you
to be
let
the
that
backup.
happen, bro? You
Are
literally
you
like
happy? Wilson is here to contracts and a lack of impact
who was
talent
it
on the
that?
way, but never fear. Doug Wilson is here to save the day.
Bro, look at that.
The goaltending situation was awful. There is no
He
denying
literally
that.
like
But do you know
like
what would be
bounced
better
off
than a
his like
frustratingly inconsistent goalie who had a terrible year? Two of
leg
them.
and then
Devin
it
Dubnyk from Minnesota to be the backup. Are you happy? You're not? Oh yeah, Jumbo Joe is gone, huh? Wait, we got it. Look, everyone! Marlowe! He's back! Again!
oh yeah,
Just keep caring about it.
I've seen
Anaheim
Patrick
just sits
Marlowe
back
in
and
the
laughs at them
Sharks.
with the refurbished
I've seen
Kevin
him,
Shattuck
yeah.
in tow. LA is just rebuilding and acquires a disgruntled Lias Anderson in the West Coast Burns.
And
At least
Brad
you
Morrison, we
like San
traded
Jose
him
or
too.
Arizona, boys. Guys
Oh
at
no, we
least have
traded
guts to
freaking
go Spurs.
Ollie.
At least you
I don't
like
know
San Jose
hockey,
or
guys.
Arizona, boys.
I don't know
Guys
hockey.
at least have
My
guts
hockey
to drink
IQ is
out of
not
during
very
your
good.
rebuilds. Most of the big acquisitions are out of the way, and things have been very quiet as of late. But there's one more question to answer: how the upcoming season is going to play out. With the border between the U.S. and
I'll
Canada
do live
sealed
reactions,
for the
don't worry,
foreseeable
guys.
future, it's impossible to keep with the current league structure.
Hopefully I will,
There will
because
still be
you know
4 divisions,
from that
but the idea is
last
to shuffle the teams around geographically
for realignment looks currently like oh
to create one
Okay.
big Canadian division. It's fortunate that they have enough teams up there to fit such a situation. The NHL
I mean, yeah,
is
it's
hoping
hockey.
for an 82-game season, but they appear to be settling on a more reasonable 56 games. Things
Okay.
were looking iffy, especially with the rumors of team owners wanting more player salaries cut due to lost revenues, but it appears we will have a season. If that's the case, I'll see you in a month for the Haters Guides. I personally hope this will be the outcome.
okay. Alright, that is it for the this week in Sportsball NHL offseason. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, I have no hockey IQ. But don't worry, I'll get it up. I'll get it. I'll get my hockey IQ up when the season starts. I'll start doing live reactions and stuff like that. All right, see you guys later.